We are joined now by Washington head coach Tina Langley, student athletes Dalayah Daniels and Sayvia Sellers. We will start with an opening statement from Coach, followed by questions for student athletes, and then questions for Coach. Coach, go ahead.
Thanks. First of all, I just want to say congratulations to Columbia, a great team, obviously a championship team, and we wish them success going forward. Really, really proud of this team. This is a team that came together this summer and wanted to be different. They wanted to be bonded in a different way. They wanted to work in a different way, and they did that. And you saw a huge growth from each individual and collectively when it comes to our culture, the way that we work and train and prepare, and also off the floor, the way they were bonded. So really proud of the season and the growth that we had. Love these young women. We spent a long time with our seniors thanking them, Brenna, Tyra, Dalayah, for all their contributions, the way that they have poured into the university, into our team, and the way they have loved their teammates and really driven this program forward. And so emotional locker room because we're going to miss them very much, and we wanted to do the best we could for them, but very, very grateful for the time that we've had with them.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Questions for student athletes?
If you could talk a bit about the first half, I guess it seemed that you guys had control of that first half, was able just to do whatever you want. Just what were the things that you liked about the first half?
I thought we were getting pretty good ball movement. I thought our tempo was up there. I thought we were trying to get transition runs. We're a good transition team, so just trying to play to our strengths. I think we were the better team in the first half, but I don't think it carried over after halftime, so that's what I would say.
Then to like that right there, obviously the game turned in that third quarter. Just what happened during that transition there?
Yeah, I think we just gave up a lot of straight line drives. We weren't helping the helper, things that we practice a lot in practice. So I think, we just got to be disciplined, communicate a little bit more to our teammates, especially in these environments. Everything has to be times 10. Everything, our communication, our intensity level, and it just wasn't there in that third quarter. And that's, that kind of changed the trajectory of the game, I think.
Then for a team that shoots so well from the three, was it their defense? Was it the looks that you guys were getting? Just what happened with your perimeter offense?
I don't think we got as many attempts as we usually get. I thought they guarded the three-point line pretty well. And we also just missed some shots. So part of it was our defense, and part of it we just missed some shots that were wide open.
And just any big takeaway from the season, just what are the things that you're going to remember from the season, D?
I think obviously just like the relationships, like these are my sisters for life. And, we talk so much about the journey and not just like focusing on results, because at the end of the day, like a trophy is a materialistic thing, like it's vain, like, it's just gonna fade. But these relationships are gonna last forever, and I've learned so many valuable things in my life. Coach Langley is an amazing woman. She doesn't just teach us how to be amazing basketball players, but she wants to teach us how to run our own house one day and how to be a CEO, how to be a boss. And that's everything that she is, and I think just being able to follow her these past 3 years, like she changed my life. And, I'm grateful for Sayvia. I'm grateful for all of our underclassmen and just everyone who's put the work in and who's also just helped change this program, so it's not, this is just a step in the right direction for this program. So I'm really just proud of our team, and I'm excited for the amazing things that they're going to be doing in the future.
All right, we have a question on Zoom from Bella.
Hey guys, for you Sayvia, Bella Munson the next, my bad. For you Sayvia, Coach had sort of talked previously about your motivation at the end of last season. And I know that the loss is disappointing, but how does this game make you feel about the future of this program and moving forward into the next season?
Obviously, I'm super proud of this team. I thought Coach brought in a great group of people, a great staff that's very committed to making each other better. So obviously, this loss is tough, but we still made a big jump from last year to this year. And we can only get better. We still have a lot of returners that got a lot of experience. And like we did last year, we got a whole summer to put in work and get better, make each other better. So I'm just excited for what we have to bring next year with the group that we're going to bring in, and then with the returners. So I'm excited, and I'm just super proud of this group this year.
Bella, we'll go back to you.
Thanks. And just, I know it didn't come off in the end, but after sort of Columbia had their big run, you did come back and tie the game and really make it close at the end. Could either of you just speak to your fight at the end of the game and maybe particularly those big 3-point shots from Elle?
Yeah, I thought we came in the timeout and were very locked in and trying to execute the play. Obviously, Elle's an amazing shooter, so that's what she does. She came in and hit a 3 for us. And even the second 3 was a good look. Obviously, it didn't go in, but I still thought we came in and executed the play from the timeout that we were supposed to.
I will go to Charles on the Zoom.
Hey guys, Charles Hamaker with Circling Seattle Sports. Thank you for taking the time, first of all. Dalayah, if I can, I'd love to hear from you about what you've seen from Sayvia's growth. I mean, just from what she did last year as a freshman to being such a spark for you guys this year. Can you just speak to, what Sayvia has done this year?
Yeah, I think when Sayvia came in as a freshman, I just knew that she was different, than a lot of other point guards in her class, and she can score at every single level. There's not a lot of things that she can't do, and I think just seeing the fact that she's only a sophomore, she had, her upside is just crazy, and she just seeing where she was at the beginning of the season, hanging with the big dogs, quote unquote big dogs, and she was just doing her thing, and I'm just so proud of her. I'm proud to be a part of her journey, a small part of it. I hope that this game and this season doesn't make her hang her head in any way, because you've put so much work in, and I'm so proud of you. Just seeing all the unseen hours, her and Elle would come in every single day, 2 or 3 hours before practice, maybe really early in the morning, come back and do 3 a day. So just seeing all of those unseen hours pay off, I'm just so proud of her, and I'm excited for her future. So,
All right, last one for the student athletes from Howard on the Zoom.
Howard Megdal, the next in Locked On Women's Basketball. Sayvia, Dalayah, congratulations to you both on the season that you had. This was Columbia's second chance at the tournament, and they played differently having that experience. I'm wondering for each of you what you think you can take away from this. Obviously, Dalayah, you're going to see it, from afar, but what you think this team is going to take into that next opportunity to play in Sayvia, what you plan to take directly into the next chance that Washington has to play in the NCAA tournament.
Obviously, from every loss and win, you learn a lot. I think from losses, you learn a lot more. So obviously, we're super grateful to be here, and we're grateful for the opportunity. Like I said, we have a lot of returners, and we're going to learn and grow from it. But yeah, Columbia came in, played hard. They were in this position last year. And, they wanted to fight for it, which they did. But like I said, we're going to learn from every loss that we have.
All right, thank you.
thank you guys.
All right, questions for Coach.
Lindsay Gibbs with Power Plays. Coach, hearing your players talk about you, what you've meant to them, what does that mean to you? And, as a coach, so often you are judged on your wins and your losses. But it's obviously about much more than that.
Yeah. It's hard to sit here with them because the loss is mine. You know, this game it's on me, you know, but I'm so proud of them to sit here and listen to them, to hear how they've grown, how much they love each other, how much they love being here, how much they love caring for one another. We learn from each other. They don't just learn from me. And so I thought they did a beautiful job of saying who we are and who we hope to be, the way that we're committed to one another. And so it was beautiful to sit here and listen and learn from them, you know. So I think that's what our culture is. It's becoming, and we tell them all the time, they're not the only ones becoming. We're all growing. We're all trying to be better. And they did a tremendous job this year helping this program grow. And in the process, they grew and we grew. And I love that they talked about our staff. They did a phenomenal job this year. But genuinely, I appreciate that question a lot because there's nothing more important than the impact we make on each other and people in life. And I think Dalayah said it well. You could ask me about a lot of my basketball games. I can't tell you a lot about them, but I can tell you about the people. And that's what we want to do. We want to be great for people and help each other be better. Thank you.
In that third quarter, was there any particular momentum swing that you could sort of, obviously the game just ended, but that you can maybe think back and say that's where things turned?
Yeah, I thought they did a great job. They said it of straight line driving us, really going the basket hard. We both had a similar game plan to start the game, which was you won't beat us from the three-point line. And so it was interesting to see us both adapt to that because they shoot the ball well, we shoot the ball well. And, you know, in the second half, the first half, I thought we came out and we went inside and we attacked the rim. We were the aggressor, straight line drives. You're not going to get a lot of assists if people don't help off very much. And so obviously in the second half, they did that and we did not adjust as well. And so, you know, breaking down, guarding the ball offensively all year. And one of the reasons we've been really good all year is how well we share the ball. Very unselfish team. Defense has gotten us in several games, and it's an area that's why in the end this is completely on me. You know, we had to be better defensively than we were, and that was through the whole season. The growth that we had there was not as fast and not as strong as it was on the offensive end, and I think that showed in the third quarter.
How surprising was it to you that you guys just weren't able to really get it going behind the arc?
Yeah, well, again, game plan, I thought that was a good job. It didn't help off us a lot. But we also lost our tempo, which when we go downhill fast, even if you say you're not going to help, there's going to be, you know, some attention to the rim. And I thought their 1-2-2, their press, you know, made us slow down a little bit. Even when we broke it, we stopped, and then we tried to run half-court offense, and we play at a faster pace than that normally. And so, again, needed to find our ways to pick up the tempo again, and I think that could have given us some better looks.
You guys were down 3, 12 seconds left. Just your thoughts on the play that you drew up and how it was executed and how did things look?
Yeah, the first 3 that we hit was a good shot. So we tried to take the play and tweak it a little bit and see if we couldn't get another option for a 3 and not just the 2. We have 2 options for a 3 in the first play, knock a 3 down, and then the second play we ran it was supposed to be a similar play. And I should have just rerun the same play. Because they knew it and it worked well the first time, and there's another couple of reads in it, and so probably tried too much to adjust based on if I thought they would know the play or not.
And obviously this game just ended, but how do you think you'll build off of this season, this run here, and to like use that over the off season and then for next season?
Yeah, building is about people, you know, and we've got great people. I'm so fortunate. This group it's a blessing to go to work every day. You know, our staff said that when they were talking to the team, like they bring joy to the room. We bring joy to each other. And, you know, you want to be your best for each other when you have that environment. And so I know who they are. I know what they did last summer. It was really remarkable. I haven't seen work like that. It's old school. You know, it's accountable. It's growth mindset. It's we're going to go to work, you know, and we want to represent this university so well. You know, this is an amazing university, amazing athletic department. We want to show up and be better. for each other, for our university, for our city. Our city was incredible to us this year. They came out and supported us so beautifully, the fans filing down to the main floor and just spending time with the young people in the city. And so, you know, I think just seeing that this year really inspired our young women as well, and tied them to, like, this is bigger than basketball. I'll never forget in the Iowa game, we had a young lady, we love her, sitting across from us, and we got beat pretty bad by Iowa that day. And she was waiting for us in the locker room with these bracelets, and she's fighting cancer, and she's 12 years old, you know, and this is bigger than basketball, you know, and so I can't wait to see them this summer because they know that.
All right, we'll go to the Zoom. Bella.
Hey, Coach. Bella Munson with the Next. The team had done a really good job with the press break in the first half and managed to get some easy layups out of that. In the second half, it seemed to give you more trouble, and there were just a lot more turnovers in the second half. Just what would you attribute that to, and was it something that Columbia did particularly well? Did the team maybe get too high off the strong first half? What would you say?
Yeah, I think when they got some easy baskets, I think we were kind of stung by it, you know, and I think they knew we were giving up layups, and that's a problem. And so obviously they took a moment to recover. We talk about next play speed a lot. We talk about, you know, how long does it take you to move on to the next thing, and I thought our next play speed wasn't very good. And that affected our press break, so we couldn't get in it, and it was a very simple press break, and then we've kind of left Sayvia on an island there. And that slowed us down a good bit. So really it was just, I feel like it was the way we responded to adversity from the defensive end of the floor, really kind of bleeding into the offensive end of the floor.
All right, next we'll go to Charles on the Zoom.
Hi, Coach. Charles Hamaker with Circling Seattle Sports. Would just like to ask you, I know we've talked to her about her so many times this season, but since she's played her last collegiate game, can you speak to Dalayah Daniels' impact further on this program and its culture and what it'll be, you know, going forward? Because I feel like you would share the sentiment that there's a lot of excitement with this program, even, you know, after a tough loss like this.
Yeah, y'all are getting me. You know, what do you want more in life than to make impact? You know, you want to impact lives. You want to impact the game. You want to impact people. And she did that. And so she impacted us all deeply, and will always. You know, Dalayah is an incredible, incredible person, just tough, you know, but also incredibly caring. And you don't see that the way she displays it. And it is an incredible example to our team and to our coaching staff. And, you know, we all thanked her for the way she worked and showed up, her toughness that she brought. She loves her city and she loves her university. And that's also a great example. And so I appreciate her and her example very much.
All right, next we'll go to Rob on the Zoom.
Rob Brown, Ivy Hoops Online. I have two questions, Coach. First is, you know, when you have a team that's new to the tournament and they're, you know, coming out with such success in the first half, any concern at the end of the half and in the locker room about overconfidence?
We've not been known for overconfidence this year. If anything, I would be more concerned that we would be nervous, you know, because sometimes we just didn't understand how good we are. I have a good friend who talked a lot about, like, sometimes you're just a cup short of greatness. And we were just right there a lot. And I think that's something I was concerned about in the locker room. So the punch that we took might have made us doubt a little bit. And it's an area that, again, I want to continue to grow us as women and as leaders. You know, we talked about this. Our theme for the year was competitive stamina. You know, you show up every day and you got to go through hard things, and it doesn't matter if you get a call of parents dying, your child was up all night, whatever that was, you have to show up and you have to be the best you can. So competitive stamina is more than basketball. It's being stronger a little bit longer. And so we went to that halftime. And, you know, we were just trying to give them confidence to continue to do the same things that we had done in the first half. We knew there'd be a few adjustments, but felt like that it was going to be a somewhat similar game, and it was somewhat similar. So just continue to respond to adversity with confidence and belief, understanding who you are and how good you are. And I'm excited for us to keep learning that.
All right, last one, we'll go with Rowan.
Shaberg, the next in Circling Seattle Sports. You touched a little bit on Dalayah and what she brings to the culture, but can you touch a little bit on her performance tonight, double-double going into the half, and then also what would be your pitch for Dalayah Daniels moving on to the next level? If you were talking to some WNBA GMs, what do you see from her going to the next level?
It's a great question. You know, Dalayah is a pro. As she may have finished the season, you know, at the top of the ratings for field goal percentage. She worked on her three this year. Look at her three-point percentage, her field goal percentage, her defense. She can guard 1 through 5. She's an incredible leader, understands the game, studies the game, works. It's just somebody you got to have in your locker room. And I remember when I met Dalayah, we met like 3 times for 2 hours at a time, you know, when we were trying to decide if this was a good fit, and that is it for her. She wanted to be a pro, she wanted to be a leader, she wanted to win at Washington, she wanted to bring Washington back. Think about that. One person, and she's like, I want my university to be back, you know, where it can be, where it belongs. And she came in and helped change a program. And so when you think about who you want to bring into your locker room, that's who you want to bring, because it was bigger than her. And it always will be for Dalayah. It will never be about her. It will always be about the program she's a part of, the people that she's living life with. And so what a great example.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.
As a reminder, Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us.